going on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you another figure review. And today we're taking at the WWE Mattel Legends Series 20 Mr. Perfect. Again, the Legends line is exclusive to Target. That is the only place you're going to be able to find these figures. They are starting out to trickle out. I saw some people posting pictures of them finding Triple H, even some of $1 Million Man and Rhythm and Blues Greg Valentine. Personally, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not super excited for this wave. Just a lot of characters that we've gotten quite a few times. Perfect was the one I thought I definitely needed. $1 Million Man, I don't think I'm going to grab him. I feel like I have enough suited $1 Million Man figures, and they're all kind of like out of scale. They're all short. I don't think they fixed the height issue with that figure. They just repainted it. I have no desire to have a modern day $1 Million Man, so that one's out for me, to be honest with you guys. Rhythm and Blues Greg Valentine, I don't know if I need it. I have the other prior Legends figure release. I think that one is better. But if I see him on clearance, maybe I'll grab him and do a review for you guys here. Triple H is pretty much the Ultimate Edition figure, but it is in the Elite form. He does come with that cool t-shirt, so I'm 50-50 on that. If I see him in stores, I probably will grab him. But again, Perfect to me was the main character that I wanted from this set. He does look great, and again, I'm curious to see how I'm going to react when I actually look at this singlet, because if you guys are not aware, he does have that kind of pull-down singlet like the Undertaker with that rubber piece, so I'm curious to see how it connects to the bottom of his shorts. I mean, I'll be honest, I was not a fan of that on the Undertaker. I feel like I saw images of the plastic breaking and getting a little brittle over time, so we'll see once we get him out of the packaging. But again, for Legends Series 20, this is the last set that we're going to get with this box frame. They are changing to more of like the hourglass shape box, kind of similar to, I believe, the original Elite packaging, how it's going to look. So with Legend Series 21, which I'm very excited for, obviously the Hulk Hogan wave coming, probably around Christmas time we could grab that, or maybe early January. That should be hitting stores around that time. So enjoy the last of this kind of design of this Legends packaging. Obviously it's going to be similar but a different shape, but for this one you get your beautiful kind of nice throwback packaging. You get the image of Mr. Perfect as well as the Legends logo, Mr. Perfect, here on the bottom. You can see he does come with the Intercontinental Championship belt, a towel, and a bunch of interchangeable hands. On the side, you'll get the image of Mr. Perfect. Same image on the other side, of course, with the Legends Line Elite Collection logo on the bottom. On the back, you got the image of Mr. Perfect, as well as the read-up. Again, all the other Legends in this wave. Let's come back and grab Mr. Perfect out of this packaging. Getting Mr. Perfect out of the packaging, he does come with quite a few interchangeable hands. So you will get a set of pointing hands. You also will get a set of mic open holding hands, with the other one being on the figure, as well as a set of fisted hands. Additionally, you get this nice, thin, soft goods towel. I do like this one a lot better than the original one. If you guys did have like the older Mr. Perfects, whether it was the Legends, or I think even the Retrofest, maybe the Retrofest had the smaller towel. I have that figure. We'll do some comparisons, but the original towels we did get from Mattel were really like thick and bulky. This is nice and thin. It looks more like a towel, and it fits easier in his hand, to be honest. Also, you do get the vac finished classic Intercontinental Championship belt. Again, we've seen this many times in the Mattel line. Never gets old. Really do love the look of this belt, and the nice blue on the globe. Sorry. Take a look at the back. Looks pretty good. So here is the sticking point where a lot of people were unsure about this figure, myself included. This rubber singlet top. I do want to point out, it is painted black in the back, and it actually does line up pretty nicely. I will say that. If you guys take a look at it, it seems to like really fit around his waist, where it looks like it is part of it, part of the actual like singlet. So you can pull the straps down. I feel like I'm going to break it, man. Even when I did this with a Taker, it's just like, I don't like the feel of it. You can pull the straps down to have Mr. Perfect kind of, I guess, end a match, mid-match, where he pulls the straps down sometimes. I don't remember him doing it that often, but I do remember him doing it to a point where you would see it in photos and videos. But the strap does come down. Doesn't look bad. You got, this is a little bit of a smaller torso, I will say, for Perfect than I would like to see, but I guess it has to fit this kind of rubber design where it won't look super bulky, but it seems to still kind of line up. I do like that. It's not as bad as Taker's. I feel like that was very loose around the actual waist, but when you're done, you can put his arms right back through these straps. Let's see how that holds. Actually looks pretty good. I'm surprised. I don't really hate this as much as I thought I would have. Obviously, it is painted black in the back. There's a little bit of smudging here, and this is what I wonder if, like, over time, this is definitely going to stretch, man. Like, I think that is the only time I'm ever going to do this again. I'm going to keep him with the singlet. I would have preferred, like, a molded singlet on here. I feel like we already have the parts for it. Why not give it to us, especially a yellow Mr. Perfect? I feel like that is something that has been missing from the Mattel line, especially in the Elite Wave. But the rest of the figure looks nice. Take a look at the head scan. I do like the likeness to Mr. Perfect. That is spot on, actually. That is really good. Nice full face. The hair looks pretty good with the different curls going on in there. You can see the hair on underneath here looks pretty good too. I'm really digging this. The yellows, I will say, you do notice a difference in the yellow from obviously the rubber singlet to the crotch piece to his thighs even. That doesn't look good at all. You can see the thigh cut here for the shorts looks like to be a different color, a shade of yellow, right? You guys see that? I don't know if it's picking up on camera. This is definitely a lot darker than this piece here. Looks like this was molded. Maybe this was painted for his thighs. A little bit of a sloppy paint job here on mine. I mean, it's passable. It's a $20 figure, $22 figure, so I'm not going to go crazy, but I did want to point that out. There is obviously different shades of yellow on here. He does have the white boots with the Mr. P on there on both sides. The long kind of bulky knee pads. I will say, I don't know if they've quite nailed the size of Mr. Perfect. He was kind of like a thicker guy. I mean, he wasn't obviously heavy or fat, but he was a thick dude. He had some meat to him, right? So I want to compare some other figures and just kind of see scaling wise, because I feel like we've got Mr. Perfects that have been a little too short, a little too tall, too skinny. So let's jump right to comparisons. So here are the other Mr. Perfect figures that I have in my collection. I do not have the original Legends figure with the blue attire. I always thought that figure was just a little too skinny. This was my go-to. This is the Heenan 4-pack figure in the orange. I feel like they kind of nailed a little more of his size. He had some really skinny arms on that Legends figure. This one kind of beefed him up a little bit, even though his torso, to me, still was a little too small. But he is obviously a lot shorter. You will notice that versus the new Legends figure. On the left here, we have the Retrofest figure that came out as a GameStop exclusive. He does have the black singlet on underneath. Obviously, this is an early, WWF Mr. Perfect. I convert him to my NWO Kurt Hennig just because I feel like that's been missing from our collection. Hopefully, within the Monday Night Wars line coming up as the Walmart exclusive, we will see an NWO Kurt Hennig. That is something I personally have really wanted for a long time. Maybe that blue attire from the Legends figure kind of redone with a more accurate size. But I do want to compare all the head scans. Let's see if we can bring them in a little closer. And that looks great. I mean, they all have a decent likeness. This one, as the belt falls off, this head scan probably very early in the Mattel days. Wasn't bad. Good for its time. The Retrofest figure looks pretty good, but I'm really, really liking the face on the new Legends figure. The hair, probably not how I specifically remember Mr. Perfect's hair, but definitely passable. But to me, without a doubt, the best likeness. As far as scaling, let's look at each of them. Look how much smaller the Heenan 4-pack figure is. I will say, I did look up his height. He's listed at 6'3". I will say, this one maybe is a tad too short. But I don't know if this is a 6'3" scaled Mr. Perfect. You can see his height here. He's about the same as the Retrofest figure. I want to say it's probably the same body. It seems to be. The legs are about the same size. Same boots. The shorts or the lower part of the singlet look to be the same. Obviously, he's got the bare torso on this one. It's passable, but I still think the Retrofest figure might be my favorite Mr. Perfect in my collection. I'm curious to see how that head would look on this figure. Obviously, I'm not going to do it in this video, but that's something for a fix-up video down the road, maybe. And quickly, I also wanted to compare the towel. So this is the Legends figure. You can see how this towel looks. This is the old school. I believe this is from the original Legends Mr. Perfect. A lot thicker, a lot more size to it. And then we have the one that came with the Retrofest. So it is the same size, but it is a thicker material. I actually like the Retrofest towel a little better. Just seems to have just a thicker kind of fabric to it. Not to say the new one is bad, but I do like the Retrofest a little better. The last comparison I want to bring in was this Ringside Collectibles exclusive Undertaker figure. Obviously, they are different eras. There's no need to even bring these two figures in comparison as far as the look. But this Undertaker was the first to utilize this new technology for these kind of like rubber shirts or singlets. And I'll be honest, since I've gotten this figure, I reviewed it, I pulled the straps down, and it's been down ever since. I have not really messed with this figure. So if you guys want to see how it's kind of holding up, I want to say this is maybe over a year, if not more. Still seems to be in decent shape. It has not deteriorated at all, but again, I don't really mess with it. I really don't pull on this plastic or rubber, whatever it is. But you will see the fitment on the bottom. Now, obviously, this is more of a shirt, right? This is, I think, supposed to, you know, hang over a little more versus the Mr. Perfect, but this is just more form-fitting to the bottom of the singlet. It really does look like it's a connected piece. If you guys want to look at the back, kind of how this shirt kind of hangs down. So I will give Mattel props. Like, I know a lot of us probably are not big fans of this, but they did utilize it here, and they did execute it pretty well, in my opinion. So I'm going to say, you know, A for effort, but I still would have preferred an actual molded singlet. If you guys are enjoying this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel here. And don't forget to turn on those notification bells to stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. As far as this Legends Mr. Perfect figure goes, I will say, I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. And yes, it's hard to admit because I was a very negative man complaining that, why do they have to change a formula that, you know, already works? I wanted the molded singlet versus this rubber one like a big baby. But I really do like this. Figure's a lot of fun, man. I will say the rubber singlet sits pretty nicely with those like lower shorts or the legs, whatever you want to call them. So I'm not going to complain here. I'm not going to, you know, really mess around with the singlet as far as to like really kind of stretch it out. I do think if you're one of those guys who likes to play and pose a lot of your figures, that you probably will stretch the rubber piece out a little bit, you know, kind of playing with it or getting in different positions or whatever. But for an adult collector who's going to keep it on your shelf, you're really not even going to notice it. It does look pretty good. The head scan is spot on. If there are any complaints, I will point out this figure isn't as perfect as Mr. Perfect was in the ring. One of the most underrated talents, if you ask me, as a wrestler or a performer. I will say that I don't really care that there are, you know, different shades of yellow within the same figure. I kind of wish he had maybe a little bit of more bulkier arms. I know for like my Retrofest, I don't know if I changed these out, but you can see how much more size these arms are versus these kind of like scrawny ones. I probably will swap them out. I mean, even the Heenan 4-pack one, the arms are a lot thicker, so I feel like he's lacking a little size. But again, it's a fun figure. I'm all for more Curt Hennig figures. Hopefully we get some WCW versions down the road. Again, this is a Target exclusive. That is the only place you're going to be able to find it. These are starting to hit stores now. So feel free to hit your local stores. Hopefully you can grab them and add them to your collection because I highly recommend it. Before we go, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at AlexWestCollects. I will catch you all on the next one.